What was supposed to be a year that the Toronto Raptors viewed as being used for development has just been capped off by clinching a playoff spot for the 2022 NBA playoffs in a win last night against the Atlanta Hawks. At the start of this season, nobody believed in this team, being 2 years removed from the infamous 2019 NBA season, where we saw this franchise win its first NBA championship and have lost many key players along the way to get to this point. However, Masai Ujiri continued to keep his head high, reworked this roster, and just like that, the Toronto Raptors are back like they never left, only this time they completely defied the odds and expectations set on them at the start of the season and are now a franchise who have made the playoffs in 8 of their last 9 seasons and only have 1 losing season since Masai became the leader of this ship, and that was last year when the Raptors had the worst outside circumstances out of any team in the NBA, being that they were the only team not to be playing at home as they had to play the year out in Tampa Bay due to COVID. Masai Ujiri and the rest of the Raptors front office deserve their flowers by turning this franchise into one of the most successful ones over the last decade, and honestly, it looks like their dominance in the NBA is only starting to begin with the amount of young talent they are looking to build around, as this is becoming one of the most iconic franchises in the NBA by the year. Also, only a small percentage of people who watch my videos are actually subscribed, so if you end up liking this video, consider subscribing. It's free and it helps me out a ton. This is a team that not only shouldn't be in the position they're in right now with how young they are and the amount of potential they have for future seasons, being that their projected win total by most major betting sites was listed at 35.5 wins, and they were heavily favored to miss out on the playoffs, as they have now reached a point where they actually legitimately have a shot to make a run in the postseason, as if they're firing on all cylinders and playing their best basketball. I don't think there's a team in the Eastern Conference that they won't be able to beat, and they have shown this repeatedly all season. This is a team that I've talked about many times this year, and I've covered almost every aspect of this roster, so make sure you check out some of the other videos I've made about the Raptors after this one if you want a more in-depth look at what this team is capable of, especially in the playoffs. This recent stretch of games that inevitably led to the Raptors getting out of the play-in position all starts with the emergence of Pascal Siakam over the second half of the season, who now has the growing possibility of being selected for his second All-NBA team in his career, where I honestly think he has a great chance of obtaining this honor with his impact he's had on the Raptors and how he's been the forefront of this team, extremely exceeding expectations. It's still a mystery on if he's actually going to be selected. However, he definitely deserves to be in the conversation, as it's going to depend on what position the voters view him as, being that if it is a center, there are only 3 slots to get selected, where 2 of them are already locked up by Embiid and Jokic, and how his competition is viewed in comparison to him. Besides points per game, where he's only averaging 0.4 less points a night from the year that Siakam made his All-NBA second team in 2020, Siakam has had career highs in practically every statistical category this season, with 8.5 rebounds, 5.2 assists, 1.2 steals, and his highest field goal percentage since becoming the #1 scoring option on this team. Not only is he having his best season from a numbers standpoint, improving statistically over himself from the year he got an All-NBA nod, he's also been one of the main contributors who have carried this team to a place not a single person expected they would be at, and this most definitely has to benefit his resume when considering the season that Siakam has had. Now, this recent surge from Siakam isn't the only thing making headlines in Toronto, as the future of this franchise and the 4th overall pick in this year's draft has made an extremely strong push to win the NBA's Rookie of the Year award with his recent performances and the fact that Evan Mobley has been missing time with an injury. Scottie Barnes deserving the Rookie of the Year award is a video I'm looking to make on its own, so I won't go as in depth as I normally would. However, if you look at the numbers and the current situations of the other Rookie of the Year candidates, Scottie has as good of a shot as any to come away with the award. Although Cade Cunningham has been on absolute fire in the month of March, climbing his way up the ladder, I think what most people aren't considering are the impact of the games that he's playing in, the current standings of his team, and how good his roster is in terms of who's getting the touches, and for these reasons, I don't think he's quite there yet compared to Mobley and Scottie. Looking at their numbers, Mobley and Barnes have quite similar regular statistics. Both of them split the stats pretty evenly, where the only real difference is Mobley in terms of his blocks per game, but it's the advanced statistics that truly dive deeper into the numbers and show why Scottie is the best rookie in the NBA, on top of the fact that he's on the better team than any of the other candidates. Scottie has the highest PER out of Mobley and Cunningham, Cam, the highest plus-minus, most offensive win shares, and comes in a close second for defensive to Mobley, which in hand results in his total win shares to be the highest by quite a bit, has the highest true shooting percentage, and he's done all of this while having the lowest usage rate out of any of the three, which is the thing that impresses me the most and should be the thing most people look at. His play as of late may be crucial for his chances at winning the Rookie of the Year award. However, it's going to be so important to the success of the Toronto Raptors in the playoffs, and it has already showed over the last few weeks that when Scottie plays well, so do the Toronto Raptors. Now, with an official confirmation that they will be entering the postseason this year, the Raptors can now begin to give their guys some much needed rest so they're ready for the playoffs, and in particular, this is essential for Van Vliet, who has been fighting through an injury to help reach this position of clinching a spot. Nick Nurse said it himself, Van Vliet is most likely getting the entire week off to finally get the opportunity to heal, and I wouldn't be surprised that other guys get some nights off too once the standings are more set in stone. The starting lineup for the Toronto Raptors has been absolutely phenomenal all year long and is the reason this team is in the position to fight in the playoffs, and it was even to the point that with the headline of their absolutely atrocious depth all year long, with how well the starters played, I seriously thought that they still had a chance to make up for the poor bench play. But what has been a flip of the script is the fact that at the perfect possible time, this bench is coming to life as Chris Boucher led the way off the bench last night with 18 and 7. Precious is looking more like a future diamond by the day, making that Kyle Lowry departure even more elegant if he turns out to be a star and continues to develop into a core part of this team. And the recent addition of Thad is yet another body the Raptors can consistently rely on to increase the depth on this team. The Toronto Raptors currently find themselves in the 5th seed in the East with absolutely no idea which team they're going to go up against, but it's between the 76ers, the Bucks, and the Celtics as they're all tied in 2nd, 3rd, and 4th with 49 wins and 30 losses. Let me know down below in the comments which of these teams you think are going to be the best matchup for the Raptors to go up against, as all three are definitely going to give us a run for our money. Although this may be a controversial take, I honestly think the Raptors' worst bet would be against the 76ers with absolutely no answer to stop Embiid and his dominance, with no true big even close to his size and talent defensively, where I'd honestly say I think the Raptors have the best chance to move on if they play the Boston Celtics. I know the Celtics are an incredible team who have been one of the best teams as of late, but they just lost Robert Williams for the season with a meniscus tear, and this allows for the Raptors to match up the best with them as they have the size and length defensively to guard Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum better than any of the other stars on the other potential teams, as Giannis, just like Embiid, could absolutely dominate in the paint against the Raptors. No matter the team we go up against, they will have their work cut out for them, since even the Celtics are one of the best defensive teams in the league, if not the best, but Robert Williams played a large role in that, so that's why I think that's the Raptors' best bet if they want to make it to the second round. I've mentioned it multiple times, this starting lineup can battle with any in the NBA, and one of the most positive signs for this team is that the majority of the key pieces on this roster are under contract for next season. This is just the beginning of the newest age of the Toronto Raptors, as I'm fairly confident that this won't be the last time this team is going to make the playoffs in the near future, as they're only going to continue to get better every season and will one day contend to earn their second NBA championship. The world is their oyster, and I'm so excited to see what this team has in store for us in the playoffs, as I truly think it's something we have yet to see from this group, and it will be something special. As always, if you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like on this video to help it get shared along YouTube's algorithm, and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more NBA videos like this one that I will be posting multiple times per week. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you all have a great night.